With eSight, especially when I'm out in public, I'm not uncomfortable wearing my eSight in public. I never have been. But with this particular model, when someone sees me from across the street, they would just think I'm wearing sunglasses. It's much smaller than any other model I've ever worn. But I do wear it out in public. If I'm doing anything on my own, if I'm shopping independently or traveling independently, I need it to be able to navigate. But one of my favorite things is interacting with people. People often will ask me, well, what are you wearing? And I remember being in a Home Depot one time, and I was overhearing a conversation between an employee and a customer, and the customer wanted some information on a unit that was at the very top shelf. And the store employee said, well, I'm going to have to go and get a big ladder. And I just casually walked over and I looked up and I zoomed up and I read the SKU number to them. And they just looked at me in awe. And they said, well, how can you do that? And I said, well, I'm legally blind. And I smiled. And then I described what the eSight was and what it did for me. And they thought that was amazing that I could, use the magnification feature to look up something so far away and get the information. My grandkids, they think I'm like Tony Stark, for all of you Avenger fans. But I've always been comfortable wearing it in public. If you want to be a rock star, wear one of these on a cruise ship. I had more people coming up to me asking me what it was about, and as they started talking about it amongst themselves, they were looking for me, and they would bring someone over and ask, well, do you think it would work for this condition? Would it work for that condition? And one of the most memorable times that I had was I was sitting at a dining room table with my family on a cruise ship, and a woman at the table, because there was a big table, there was other people with us, and she said that she thought it was rude that I was playing a video game while at the table. And I just looked at her and I just said, ma'am, I'm not watching a video game. I said, these are my electronic glasses that enable me to see. I said, without them, I couldn't even see your face or read the menu or anything like that. And she said, well, really? Well, how is that possible? And I said, well, I have macular degeneration, and this allows me to do all of those things. I said, matter of fact, I can read to the bottom of the eye chart. And she said to me, well, would that work for my husband? And she was quite rude, actually, the way she was, and she was annoying everybody at the table, and her husband was just sitting there really quiet. And I said, I don't know, what's his condition? And she said, well, he has macular degeneration. And I just looked at him and I said, would you like to try my eyewear? And he said, yeah. So I went over and I got it set up on him, and he didn't say anything, and then he was just looking, and he said, pass me a menu. And I passed him a menu. And he started reading the menu out loud, and it was amazing. His wife became the sweetest lady. And there wasn't a dry eye at the table. Experiences like that, I love it. I love what it does for me. I love what it does for other people. And I spend a lot of my time explaining to people what this is, and I make myself available in any opportunity so that I can help other people.